When it comes to launching our business, we look at it and go like, oh, well, I got to get a website. And it's like, yeah, websites can be valuable. However, after working with coaches for a while now, and just even entrepreneurs in general since 2004, what I've seen is and especially now as I go to a lot of coaches' websites, as in different forums, they launch their businesses. Hey, I've got my new website out. Check it out. So I go to the website, and what's missing is, forget about what's there content-wise, right? We can always look at what's there in content, and we'll go into that a little bit. But the number one thing of your website is you want to have valuable information on your website, not just about you or your coaching services. It's important to have information about you. You are the product, you are the brand. And that's the first thing I'll say that I see missing on websites, is the simple fact that I don't see coaches. I don't see their faces. Some have, a picture here and there, but it's like, I want to see your face. Like, you are the brand. You need to start to get your image across. It's not self-promotion. It's just recognizing that we are the face of our message and the brand that we're representing. But more importantly is we want to have some really good content on there that people can be able to learn. People that are part of our audience, that we're sharing our message with, that we want to educate, right? And typically that's done through a blog or a blog page, right? And no matter what we have on there, we have that information. But what's missing is what I don't see very rarely. I see what I could just call or term as lead capture. Lead capture meaning, someone goes to your website, and hopefully there's something there where they go, wow, this is really good stuff. I don't know what it is. Let's just leave it, blank in terms of what it is just now. But I read something, I watch something, I see something, and I'm intrigued, and I'm like, wow, this person rocks. They've helped me, or I like them, and I want more, or I want to follow them, or whenever they bring more things out, I want to know. And there's got to be a place where you can capture their information, meaning their name and their email. Most people will have, maybe on the homepage something, small, like, subscribe here or something like that. But there's nothing like a call to action that says like, hey, here's something that's really valuable that I want to give to you. Just enter your name and email address, and I'll email it to you. And that's one form of lead capture. And then there's other forms where like, hey, we can drive them to, let's say, a private Facebook group, etc. So if we had a website, that would be the value of it. So if you have a website currently, and I want to start off with this, is that your website is essentially useless unless you have calls to action for a website. So if you go to my website, sellingcoaching.com, and this is important to understand, and I'll talk about this a little bit later in terms of the model of what I want to do with people, and this is what I help coaches do, is help create a strategy of lead capture for their business. Because our business, the number one thing in any business, regardless of the business, but in our business especially, the number one thing, our objective, is to build an audience. That's it, period, end of day. If you're not doing anything today to build your audience, meaning get in front of people that your message is supposed to help. That's what you do. You get in front of people that your message is supposed to help, and you give them great, valuable information. So people that are on the call tonight, people that will listen to the recording of this call, some of you know me, some of you love me, some of you whatever, you've already heard my information, you've benefited from it, but some of you are brand new. Some of you haven't heard this information before. Talked to a few people right when you called in. It's like, oh yeah, one of your clients told me about you. Or, oh yeah, I follow you on Facebook and I saw this information, so I was intrigued, so I thought I'd call in. So these are new people, right? So you're in front of them and you're delivering valuable information, hopefully like I'm delivering tonight, to the point where you're like, wow, this is great stuff. And then there you want to see more. So that's our number one objective, is getting in front of those people. And so as we build an audience, more and more people in our audience, more captive audience, and more people you can help. But then when it comes time for, when you have a product, a paid product or service, like coaching, like a course, like a workshop, or whatever it is that you're putting out there, there are going to be people in there that are like, wow, this is great, I want to buy this. And that's how you can begin to monetize and create revenue in your business. So now going back to that lead capture, and I know I'm still talking about a website, In other words, for those of you that have it, but I want to talk about this because this is going to relate to how you can understand how you cannot use a website, meaning you need the same elements that I'm going to go over on a website. I'm going to go over that so those of you that have it can add it in there. But then again, those of you that don't have it can show, okay, well, how can we do this without getting a website? And that's why I'm starting off with this. So, and I'm just using my website as an example. So whether you're there or not, at sellingcoaching.com, when you go there right away, right on the landing page, first thing you see at the top, well, it depends where your eyes go, but at the very top, right above the navigation bar, meaning where it says, about success stories, university, you'll see in a nice, if you will, lime green color, join my private Facebook group, right? That's my first lead capture, meaning if someone comes to my website and they see that, and they're like, oh, what's my private Facebook group? Well, right away, they're probably not going to want to do that because they don't know me yet, assuming I'm new to them. But that's one way, if they went over to my private Facebook group and they liked it, they could join. So as soon as they join a private Facebook group, and we'll outline this later on as part of a critical element that could be a part of your business, especially without a website. But when they join my private Facebook group, essentially I've captured their lead, if you will, because whenever someone posts something or I post something, they automatically get an email in their inbox. They get a notification, which is cool. So right away, I'm in front of them, which is what we want to be. We want to be in front of our people. That's marketing. Like you think about marketing. What is marketing? It's being in front of your audience how about this? As much as they will be willing for you to be in front of them without getting sick of you. How's that, right? Because we all know we get emails and we're bombarded with emails, we're bombarded with messages and advertisements left and right. Some are acceptable, some aren't, but at what point does it become too much? But if you keep delivering value, if you keep giving away great information and you keep helping people, once you build that loyal customer, they will keep you on their email list. They'll stay a part of your group. They will become a raving fan, unless it's just the information is zero relevance to you. But I will tell you, before I shifted my niche to working with coaches and helping them launch their business and creating a full-time income, and helping them on the aspects of selling and marketing. Before I did that for 10 years, I wasn't working with coaches. I was working with insurance agents. I was working with other solopreneurs in the fitness industry and just a bunch of different industries. I've always done entrepreneurship, but I will tell you, I still have thousands of people on my list that get my emails that are zero relevant necessarily for some of them. I mean, some of them took my group fitness class that I taught, 10 years ago, but they were loyal followers. They were fans of me, and they follow me, and they love my information because I've helped them in some way, and they're loyal. And that's how to build an audience and have a loyal audience. All right. So that's my first thing. We're on the webpage, sellingcoaching.com. Join my private Facebook group. Gets you right there. If you scroll down, my navigation bar is sticky, meaning it follows you. And so therefore, join my private Facebook group is always in front of you no matter what page you're on. Also, right on the landing page, it says, grab your free gift and the dog is yours. And next to it, I have an image of kind of me sitting on the ground with my dog Cosmo kind of licking my face. And it's just like a fun picture. And this is how I just get across my personality. But this is my lead capture. This is my free giveaway. So it says, grab your free gift and the dog is yours. And then underneath it says, just kidding. When you sign up, you will receive the Ultimate Startup Guide for Coaches, an audio training program with resource notes. You can enter your name and email and then click the button that says get dog. So I did it because I did that because, I don't know, I have a sense of humor and I like to joke around and I like business to be fun, and I want people to look at that and laugh and go and get their attention, as opposed to, the everyday run-of-the-mill, get your 6 quick tips on whatever, or just subscribe to my mailing list. I want to deliver them something really valuable. And for those of you that have gotten that and listened to that, that's a pretty hardcore resource that I give away. It's a 60-minute audio. And it's gosh, I don't know how long the PDF is, but it's done up really, really nice. Really, a lot of resources in that, and I do that because for my audience, being coaches consume information. They're readers, they're learners, they consume, and that's important for them. So giving them something longer is okay for my demographic. Depending on what your demographic is or who your audience is, you might need something shorter or much, much shorter, meaning 2 or 3 tips or 2 or 3 page PDF on a few things, because the attention span of someone might not be as much. But that's my audience, and I know with what I was giving away, there was a lot of value in it because the people that had consumed it before, I got a lot of feedback on it saying, wow, this is really good. So I said, okay, this is my free giveaway. But my point of going into that is that I've got something right away that's valuable, that grabs their attention, and it's a lead capture, meaning if they do that, I'm giving them something really valuable, but now they're on my email list. And once again, I can stay in front of them, not just because I want to sell them something, it's because I want to keep delivering them value. I want to get to know them. And those of you that have come across me, and I'll say this because I walk my talk, is every single person that comes into my private Facebook group or that emails me in response to, when they join, get that free audio program, and they reply to it. Every single person I will reply to personally by email. I will private message those people, and I will follow up with those people, and I will give them as much time as they give me in terms of back and forth dialogue, because I want to know people. And this is a people business as coaches, so we need to develop relationships. And that's what we're going for here. So again, that's another element of what we want in a website. And again, just to reiterate, I'm giving you this so that you can see these are the elements you're going to need somewhere else if you don't have a website. All right, that's why I'm going over this. So if you have one, again, you need to know this stuff. All right. So then if you scroll down a little bit more, again, you're going to see, check out my private Facebook group. And then I'm leading people to other big elements of my website. So beyond everything else, my university is my blog. Right? So with a website, your most valuable piece, even if you don't have a website, this is still going to be the same element, that's why I'm going over it, is going to be your blog. And what is a blog? And most people think like, oh, it's a blog. Well, it's a place where I kind of write some stuff. Okay, yeah, well, your blog can be anything. Like my blog is 100% video. Like it's all videos. Even at the call recording, it's an audio tonight. I turn it into a video and put a little screen up there with what I'm doing, table of contents, or what's on the call, or anything relevant for someone that might actually look at it. But either way, they can still consume it in that format. So, so with your blog, you can call it a blog. People are familiar with it. But blog is where you're going to be putting valuable information in the form of video, in the form of audio, in the form of written. You choose. As a coach, I highly recommend video, as if you've been exposed to what I'm doing in the private Facebook group, right? Even right now, we've got a visibility challenge going on, 30 videos in 91 days, and I'm helping people create this. I have this platform where I want to teach you how to use video in the form of marketing, because there's just no better way to convey your energy, your tone, your personality, just who you are. But obviously, it's very challenging for people right away. But that's why I'm doing that, so people get used to it. So that's what I recommend. But you don't have to call it a blog. Like, for instance, I called mine a university. You can label it anything you want. You can call it Coach's Corner. You can call it a lot of different things. But the point is that if you rebrand it like that, like especially for me, like I'm teaching a lot of things, I wanted it to be more, have more value than just a blog. It doesn't mean a blog doesn't have value, but that's why I called it my university. It has a different type of energy, has a different type of value with it. And then when you go there and you start consuming it, you'll start to see like, okay, this is a university. Like you could spend all day there literally, I'm not even exaggerating, and just be listening or watching videos and get a lot of great information. And that in and of itself, every single video that you click onto, when you go to that next page, not only is it valuable information, but that's where you also see lead capture as well. So in other words, at the bottom of that, I have, like right now I have a video creation university. It's one of my new products that I'm mostly marketing to my selling coaching group because they're doing videos and I wanted to create a product that could help them create killer videos and deliver awesome content. So you'll see stuff like that, but you'll also see The download for, hey, you haven't checked it out yet? Download my free Ultimate Startup Guide for New Coaches. So it's right there. So if people have missed it on the landing page, they missed it on the other page of the university, and now they're listening to this stuff, it's going to be there. There's lead capture. So there's anywhere people go, especially where they're going to spend more time, which is most likely the university or the landing page, there's going to be places where they can go. As soon as they get to that point where they're like, wow, this is great, wow, I like this person, wow, I like this information, that's when people tend to create that decision and go, okay, I want to become a part of this, I want to be notified, etc. And that's when they're willing and want to, let's say, submit their information like name and email. So these are the vital elements of your website. Or if not a website, what you need. Let me break it down now. Basically, lead capture with valuable information. That's it. That's what we need. So whatever you use, whatever platform you use, let's call it a website, let's call it a social platform, that's what you need. You need a place to put valuable content and a place for lead capture. That's the elements. That's it. Because let's go back to the beginning of the call. I said, what is our number one objective of our business? To build an audience. So if we're putting valuable information out there, that's how we begin to attract and they start to consume that valuable information. How do we build the audience? When they raise their hand and say, yes, I love this stuff. I want to be a part of what you do. And typically that's a free thing. So that's what we're looking for right there. All right, so now that we understand this element a little bit better, having a website is nice and it's good to have. I'm not saying don't have a website. However, there's a couple things you want to think about is that, when you're launching your business or even when you're in your business for a while, people judge you. People always judge you. And we need to be aware of this and cognizant of that. And so what I mean by people judge you when it comes to business, and I learned this years ago when I started off because I had one of my good friends, and this is 2004, so it wasn't even as nearly advanced as it is today in terms of what things looked like. But to get websites, even back then, the cost was a lot higher, especially to get a higher end website. So essentially, what I'm saying is that we have to understand that people judge us. So you have to think about what you're charging for your products and services, your coaching, or anything else that you do, and recognize that people have an eye. There's a natural eye for, let's say, grade A material. When I say grade A material, so if you walk into, let's say, Barnes & Noble, and you pick up a book off the shelf, right, that's been published, there's a certain expectation in terms of what it will look like, in terms of quality, images, so forth and so on. If you go to Nike.com, if you go to Coca-Cola.com, if you go to Apple.com, I'm picking some really big brands, but these are very high-end commercialized brands, multi-billion-dollar companies. And the reason I'm comparing us to that is because go down to a multi-million-dollar level or even a multi-six-figure level. People that are earning or companies that are earning good money, there's a certain level or standard that they go by. And what that means is if you go to those websites I gave you examples of, yeah, it's Nike, yeah, it's Apple. Are we Apple and Nike? No, we're not. Will we ever be? Well, hey, good luck. But no, right? So the point being, people are used to seeing a certain level of quality of image and usability and so forth and so on. Now, I'm not saying we need a platform like Nike, for instance, but if we're going to be portraying our products and services and we want to get top dollar for our products and services, which we need to do as coaches, and I say that because if you're serious about earning a full-time income and creating a full-time coaching business, you need to charge at least $100 a session, and honestly, that's going to be really tough. Well, let's put it this way. You do about 10 to 12 sessions a week. All right, let's just call it 10 for easy math. All right, that's $1,000 a week if you're doing $100 a session, right? So it's $1,000 a week. Let's just say times 4, so that's $4,000 a week. I'm not saying $4,000 a week is bad money. However, based on different financial situations, that's not going to get you very far. That could be a full-time income. But remember, you said, well, can I just do more sessions? Well, after doing this, I've done well over like 5,500 coaching sessions at this point. And I've done a lot of sessions. I've done, 35 sessions in a week before for multiple weeks. And it will kill you. And right now I find that you're looking at about 10 to 12 sessions a week on a regular basis. Doesn't mean you can have a week that spikes up a little higher. But in order to like be really on top of your clients, give them value, stay in touch with them, know who they are. I remember when I had 35 clients a week, it was just like, who the heck is this person? It was not fun. It wasn't good. And that's why I kind of barreled it down to keep a smaller number. But that's a realistic, sustainable number. And in order to have 10 to 12 clients a week, you've got to have about 2.5 times that number in terms of clients. So if I want 10 clients a week, you've got to have about 25 active clients in order to have a healthy 10 clients a week. And then you've probably got to be bringing at least 2 to 3 new clients on a month in order to maintain that, because you always have some drop off as you move forward. And those are just statistics I know because that's what I found in my business. So go with it, because I'd be willing to bet it'd be very accurate for what you're going to do. With that being said, the point is, let me revert back to, is we got to charge top dollar, meaning we've got to at least charge 100. So when you're starting off, I highly recommend that you're starting off, depending on where you're at and what you're willing to do, is like about 125. If we can push you up to 150, that's fantastic, because now you're earning a decent amount of money. You're not probably what you'd consider like way overvalued. And now you're starting off at a good place where once you start getting clients, where you don't want to price yourself is if you price yourself too low, especially anything under 100, once you start getting busy and you get more clients, the first thing you want to do is jack your prices up or raise your prices. And you don't want to be there right away. You want to have some room where you can stay where you're at for a little while. So the reason why that's so important in order to get top dollar is because we want to make sure that our images that people see on our website, when they go to it, if we have that, or whatever platform we end up using, which we're talking about tonight, right? That these people are like, wow, this is good stuff. This is professional stuff, right? So I had been doing this for 10 years before I transitioned to work mentoring with coaches. So I had a reputation. I was an author and people knew what I was doing. I earned great money doing it. And I needed to make sure that right from the gate, launching this business, that I portrayed myself where I was. So I invested in a website, invested in a company, and said, hey, make this site look awesome, and here's how I want it to look, etc. And that's how we came across. Because if you end up working with me, and then let's say I charge $200 for a coaching session in a package of 9. So if you come to me and I say that, but then you look at my website or you look at my materials or even my videos, and they're clearly homemade, if you will. I mean, yeah, my videos are homemade, but they don't look homemade, I would venture to say. And I'm not talking egotistically, I'm talking very proudly, right? Because I do it on purpose. Same thing with a website. Everything that I do, I want to make sure it's top quality. Is it Nike quality? Well, no. But is it at a level where people go to it and go, yes, they expect a certain level from me, based on the education I deliver and the materials they see. So therefore, when someone is potentially going to be working with you, they will have a certain expectation about what you might or may not charge. And that's where I'm getting at here, is you want to make sure you're at a certain level. And that's why starting off when you're launching, I'm not discouraging you from, if you are going to do a website, to do it homemade, because there's plenty of stuff out there where, yeah, you can do it yourself and you can add some images and you can have a website up with a blog in a matter of 30 seconds, and throw your logo up there and customize some colors and some images, and you're good to go. And that's not a bad option. I'm just making you aware of all this other stuff because it does play a role in your consumers' perception of yourself, your business, what you charge, how well or not well you're doing. Again, that's all a moot point if you're delivering real value and you're delivering real education. But the reality right away is that we launch and we're coming out of a coaching school or whatever, and it's like we're nervous or we haven't done this before. And so we've got to get some practice, and we've got to start honing our message and practicing our message. So right out of the gates, we might not have that, confidence yet, and that's why we got to start practicing it. But that's why it would be vitally important that whatever type of platform we have is as professional as possible, also typically as economical as possible, because while there are costs in launching a business, and we don't want to fool ourselves in saying, we can do this business with very low overhead. I work from home. It's great, I have low overhead, but I do have costs in the business, and there are costs that are involved. We want to be aware of that. So with that being said, we want a professional platform. So let's now go away from the website and let's look at how we can launch without a website. And we need to have those two elements. We need to have the ability to capture leads, and we need to have the ability to have valuable content. For the sake of conversation, I'm going to use Facebook as an example. It's the platform that I'm most familiar with. It's a platform that I've chosen because that's where my audience is. For you, you'd have to look at, based on who your audience is, in other words, who are you going after? I said, well, you got to build an audience. Well, people call it a niche, right? I just like to say, one message, one audience. Same thing, but just said differently. What is your message? Who is it for? How are you helping them? What problems are you solving? What outcomes are you helping them with? Once you can answer those questions, those are really the first questions you need to answer. Say, where are they? Right, so where do they hang out on social platforms? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, there's Instagram, I could keep going, right? Younger generations, Vine, and whatever, stuff I'm not even aware of. So whatever it is like, well, where do they hang out the most? Right? So I say, oh, well, for me, it's coaches, right? So where do coaches hang out? Well, yeah, they're on a bunch of different places. I'm a big advocate of focus. I say, okay, great, Facebook. It's where they are. Like, could I be on LinkedIn? Yeah. Could I be on Twitter? Could I be on a bunch of different things? Doesn't mean I'm not there, but I don't really focus ever there. I blow up Facebook, and that's my thing, and I understand it, and I want to own Facebook. I want to be that guy on Facebook. I want people to just see me all this thing in time, be like, oh, I know this guy. I don't even know, maybe not even know who he is, but there's a guy in the salmon-colored shirt. Some people call it pink, but that's my brand, selling coaching. And I want to be in front of those people, and I want to become known as, the coach who mentors other coaches with selling and getting their business going. So that's where I'm at. And so let's use it as an example. Is you've got to figure out where is it at for you? And if the answer will probably be, 2 to 3 different platforms, but I'd recommend to start off, especially to keep it easy, is pick one to start. Where are you going to begin? Let's say it's Facebook, for instance, all right? And I'll use Facebook in terms of you have your profile. Everyone has a personal profile if you're on it. But then there's also a Facebook page, which is a business page where your fans go. Your fans will, they can like your page. And then also there's a private Facebook group if that's what you so choose to do. And I'm not saying it's right for everybody. I'm saying Facebook groups, not only are they in, I don't think they're necessarily going to fade per se because of what they offer and what they can create. But Facebook groups are fantastic in terms of engaging with your audience. So let's just say you didn't have a website and you had a Facebook page and you had a Facebook group, right? So now what do we need? We need a place where we can put content, put valuable content, and a lead capture. Lead capture so we can market to these people and be in front of them. Well, let's look at this for a minute. So whether you're familiar or not with these elements, I'll go through them real briefly so you can understand how they work and how they can be utilized. So first, to tick off the mark of professional and high quality, the cool part about social platforms, Facebook for instance, it's all standard. So as long as the image you put up there for your header, for instance, is high quality, meaning it's just taken with high resolution, really good lighting, really good photo, it's going to look professional because how it all functions, I mean, Facebook is like the Mac daddy of a website. I mean, I don't know how, like, websites like Nike or, some sites can cost millions of dollars to build because of the functionality that it needs to have. I mean, that's where Facebook is in terms of the integration and how it all works. So you instantly have, with zero cost, a professional platform that functions well, and don't have to pay for any hosting. You don't have to do any back-end work on it. It's just, what's the name of your business? Let's just say selling coaching. Okay, selling coaching page. How long did it take me to create that? 30 seconds? Great. You know what I mean? Like, it's done. Let's get a really high quality image, and do you need to pay to have it done? Well, not really. It's like the images I use, it's like I went to dinner with my parents and I'm like, I need a new picture for my business. I want to portray a certain thing. So I took my iPhone 6 and went out. I told my brother, I'm like, dude, you need to take a couple pictures of me. So we found a cool background with like a nice old wooden wall. And I'm like, this is perfect. And I stood there and he took a bunch of shots and boom, that was it. You need good lighting. You need a newer smartphone, which most likely everybody has. Take a nice shot. If you can't, get the sizing right, go to a website called Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, and just type in, social media headers, and find someone who speaks English, if you speak English, and send them that. Say, I need a header for my Facebook page and for my, let's say, Facebook group. And boom, you get it done. It's sized perfectly. You upload it, and it fits perfectly. You pay $5, and you're good to go. Don't stress about it. So now you've got this awesome platform, let's just say right now, the Facebook page. And now this is a place on a Facebook page you can post. Facebook page, think of it as your blog. It's a done blog. It's customized because you can customize it very simply without having, you put your name in, you put a couple pictures in, and you're done. And now you post, right? And there are people there who are going to start to see it already just by the nature of you having whatever friends that you have on Facebook. And then as more and more people like your Facebook page, which over time, as people start to see it, they will like it naturally, hopefully, if you're putting out great content. Secondly, you can also run some Facebook ads, which is another whole topic, but very, very valuable and easy to do. You can run Facebook like ads, for instance, to get people to like your page. And I do that on a daily basis. I've been running it for a while, and it's in front of my audience, and when they see it, they like it. And so people that like your page, when you post something, doesn't mean that they will see it. It just means that it should show up on their news feed. And again, as they get to know you, when they do see your face or your brand, and they recognize you, and they're a fan of yours, if you will, and they truly do like your stuff, they'll watch it, they'll listen to it, they'll consume it. And that's a great, easy way of starting to grow your audience and stay in front of your existing audience, especially as you get more likes on your page and that grows. If you're hosting an event, or if you just want to, get something out there, like you're launching something, or even if you just want something to be in front of those people that like your page, you can boost a post, or you can create an ad, and you can specifically market to those people who like your page, which means that your ad, whatever it is, it's a video, it's an event, or whatever it is, just by running that ad, it will be in front of those people. And you can do it pretty low cost, which is really cool. And so that's our way of doing it right there with the Facebook page. And we get people to like our page. And again, it's not just anybody to like your page. Again, it's if you get other people to like it that aren't necessarily in your audience, it's not a bad thing, because obviously the more likes you have, there's something of it which says, oh, there's social proof. If I've got 50 likes on my page, it doesn't mean that, no one likes his page or her page. It just means that, when you're doing it for a while, you're going to have a lot more likes. So the social proof, but what we're really concerned with is how can we be in front of our audience more? And that's where the value of likes come in. Now, if we want to take it to the next level, we have a private Facebook group. You can make it a public Facebook group or a private Facebook group. I recommend a private Facebook group. There's some secrecy to it, but not enough where you can't join very easily and get approved and you're in the group. And so it's kind of like a private space where now you can engage and interact with your people. And this is a phenomenal platform because, number one, the barrier to entry to a Facebook group is very, very low. Again, you're working with a very professional, easy to use platform zero cost involved, zero cost for your people to become involved. It's an email hack, meaning you can join my private Facebook group and all of a sudden you can be getting notifications right in your inbox or however you receive them. And not only just once a day, but you can get 10, 15, 20 a day. And for some reason, it's acceptable for you to get dozens of notifications from, let's just say, one group. And maybe you're interested, some you look at, some you don't. Maybe some days you're just busy and you just delete them. Either way, guess what? We're in front of that person, right? They see your name. They see the name of your business, Selling Coaching, Jeff St Laurent, whatever. And you just delete it, you delete it, you delete it. But the point is, even if they're just deleting, you're in front of them. And that's what marketing is. You're in front of them. Because then one day they're going to see a title. Or like for some of you, you saw the title to this call tonight and you're just like, that's relevant to me. I'm going to call in, right? It's timing. That's selling. It's timing and a need. You might have need for a lot of different things, but if the timing's not right, it's not going to jump out at you. But if the timing was right and you saw a title like, hey, how to launch your business with no website, you're like, oh, damn, I'm going to make it a point to call in or listen to that call recording. So now, like I said, it's a great email hack in some ways because the barrier to entry is just click to join. I didn't have to enter my name. I didn't have to enter my email, but all of a sudden you're getting notifications. And like I said, it's somewhat socially acceptable because you can get a bunch of notifications. You get 20 notifications a day from a group. But if I sent you 20 emails a day, what would you do? You'd be like, dude, this guy's crazy. I couldn't come up with that much content. And it's just like, I don't care how much you like somebody. If you're getting 20 regular emails from them a day from their business, even if it's great stuff, you're going to be like, I need to unsubscribe from this person's mailing list. But for some reason, you can get 20 notifications. In some groups, you can get just a lot of BS stuff like, oh, here's a quote and here's this, and just a lot of stuff that's even irrelevant to you. But yet you just delete, and it's fine. So point being is in some ways, it's better than email. I wouldn't not have email. Email is vital. Email marketing is huge. However, I'm just showing you, it's right away, I can stay in front of these people. I have lead capture. And the cool part is about a Facebook group, and if you go to my Selling Coaching private Facebook group, if you're not a member, I highly recommend you join because it's really stinking cool what we're doing in there. Because again, it's all about value, right? But the point is if you get in there, not only will you get notifications, but if you go into the description, because most people, when they go into a description, when they go into a group, or before they go into the group, they'll read the description. And then in that description, it say, hey, this is a group for coaches, selling simple and fun for coaches. And I say, in there, I have another lead capture that says, hey, I have a free gift for you. It's the ultimate startup guide for new coaches. Click here to download. Right? It's the same thing that's on my website, but now this is in my group. And so right away, someone that comes to my private Facebook group, however they came to it, and however I'm getting those people there through, contributing in different groups and ads that I'm running, et cetera, now that they're there, low barrier to entry, they're in the group, they see that right away and they go, oh my God, that sounds awesome. They're there already, so they're there for a reason. If they've already joined the group, it means there's already some value. They've seen enough value where they want to join and be a part of it. So when they see something like that, now it's just like, yeah, sure, I'll give you my name and information. This sounds really cool. And so now all of a sudden they get that information because I want to put my stuff in front of them. Because if you're listening to a call or you're listening to my information, I want to give, like I said, valuable information. And that's only going to make this person, hopefully, if it's relevant to them, want more and stay and hopefully share it with other people. So there's another lead capture right there. And so now they can be on my email. Right? So some of you that are on the call or listening to the call, you called in because you saw my email, because you're on my email list. Some of you saw the post on my Facebook page. Some of you saw, my post in the group, or maybe even another group that I put it in. But you know what? None of you saw it on my website, right? My website had zero pull in getting you here tonight. That's my point, is I could have done something in my blog, but would it have gone out to anybody? No, it just would have been in my blog, and it would have been a hit or miss whether you just went to my, website or not. And that's the value of having those social platforms, is that, even if you have a website, I would still urge you, like I have, my private Facebook group and my page. And those are my areas that I hang out in. And that's where I want my people to be. And that's how I stay in front of those people. And that's why if I revert back to my website, if you notice, all through my website, it's like, hey, join my private Facebook group, join my private Facebook group. And hey, here's this awesome free gift for you. Enter your name and email address, because I want to be in front of you in different mediums, email and through Facebook. And so that's the value of having it. So now hopefully you can start to see is that if we didn't have the website right away, yes, is the website valuable? Absolutely. But can we create a profitable business without one? Absolutely, because what do we need? We need a place to put valuable content. Okay, I got my Facebook page, and that's basically a ready, done blog that's beautifully done. And then I've got a place of social interaction with my private Facebook group that you can create very easily and modify at any time, zero cost, stay in front of these people. And the group, you can really engage with people. And I also showed you how you can, through the description, have a lead capture where they can be on your email as well. So right then and there, that's a great place that you start. And through different things like posting content on a regular basis, finding the audiences, like I said, find your audience. What's your message? Who is it helping? What are you helping them with? What's the outcome? Where do those people hang out? If you're talking Facebook, you want to find what pages do they like? What groups do they hang out in? And in terms of groups, when you find out, the top 2 or 3, 4 groups, join those groups, become a part of those groups. I'm in the groups where my coaches hang out, and am I in there marketing, hey, come to my call tonight, and, join my private Facebook group and stuff like that? No, I'm in there looking for questions. I'm getting, again, notifications in my inbox. I'm looking for questions that are relevant to what I can answer. Are there a lot of things that I could answer with certain aspects? Yeah, because I've done it for a while, but I want to focus on a certain aspect of selling, marketing, because that's my hook. There are other mentor coaches out there, a dime a dozen, who want to help other coaches, right? But where's my hook? What makes me, different? This is why I want you to ask yourself, what makes you different? You're doing life purpose. You're doing whatever it is. Well, where's your hook with that? So my hook is selling. I'm that guy for selling because I'm passionate about it. And if there's anybody else out there, it's fantastic, but that's what I want to be known for. And that's what gives me that unique voice. So now for you, it's the same type of thing. So you get in those groups and you contribute. And you contribute value, and you help people out, and you ask, and you answer questions, and you say, hey, and then you friend them, and then you private message them and say, hey, I noticed your question in the whatever thread, and I responded. Let me know, how's it going? And I get clients that way. If you go to my website under the university, sellingcoaching.com, I've got 3 different calls on how to turn a Facebook comment or an email, a blog comment or an email question into a paying client. And I interview the person that did it, and I go through the details of how I do all that stuff, because those are where your clients are. They're waiting for you. And when you create a private Facebook group, I like to call this, your private Facebook group is a place where you can contribute value, you can interact with people, you can do whatever you want in there. But from a very unsexy term for what it is, it's a great breeding ground for clients. And what I mean by that is that you're there interacting. People are going to hire you when they get to know you, when you've helped them, when they like you, when they trust you. And then when the timing's right and you're in front of them and they like you, they trust you, you've helped them, and assuming what they're looking for at that time you can help them with, they're going to work with you. That's just how it works. It's not any more complicated than that. And that's why when I say it's a breeding ground, meaning it's like, you don't know, but they're all your clients, your next group of clients. That's where they're coming from. You don't know who they are, so you just contribute and you help out and you comment. And you can do different things, like, for instance, and I know some of you are part of this, but on January 13th, this year, I launched the Visibility Challenge. It's where we're creating 30 videos over 91 days. You can join anytime. It starts between January 13th through April 13th. And you can start at any time. So your 91 days starts when you post your first video. Because as I said earlier, video marketing is just like, go watch a video of myself, or go in the group and watch these videos. Imagine that being you, and your viewer is a potential customer of yours. How quickly can they get to know you and know your personality and your energy and your message? And it's just like the connection is through the roof. versus if they're reading a blog post that you wrote, there's nothing there for them. The content's either engaging or it's not, and they're reading it through their own, viewpoint and their own lens. But all of a sudden they watch you, and it's like, wow. And if you think you're not good at it, that's the point of me doing that, is get better at it. But the reason I'm sharing this is that I'm showing you the versatility that you can have within a group, and creating engagement is like, I'm doing this video challenge, and I'm saying, hey, use my platform of this group to, either if you're good at videos, like, hey, put your message out there. Create videos that you're going to create for your own database, your own blog, your own YouTube channel, your own whatever, and post them in here. And then just, go around to 3 or 4 other videos every time you post, and like and comment and share, and, cheer people on. And what's that going to do for everybody else? It's going to give everyone more exposure, and you're going to motivate other people. And if you haven't done videos before, it's like, hey, you know what? You haven't started off with, you don't know your message. Maybe you're still in school, or you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what this is like yet. So what? Get in front of the camera and say, hey, my name's Jeff St Laurent, and I have no clue what I'm talking about. This is my first video, and I couldn't even say my name 20 times, but here I am, and this is my first video. Thank you very much. Welcome. And that's it. And then next video, and next video, next video. And then by the end of the 91 days, I guarantee you're going to start developing your voice. You're going to have a stronger voice. You might even know more of what you're talking about. And even if you don't, it's just like, well, where can you start? What's one thing you could share with somebody that's going to help them? And so as I do that, I'm helping people. We're giving them free exposure. We're teaching them valuable things of how to market themselves, on the video, etc. Their visibility is going up because all these people are now sharing it, and now all of a sudden your videos are all over their timelines, and who knows how many people you're getting exposed to that you wouldn't before. I'm growing my group. I'm getting a lot of people in there, and I'm getting more and more exposed to more and more people. And so it's a win-win all the way around. And so by the time this thing is done, look at what we can create together, right? And so does that have anything to do with my website? Nothing, zero. You go to my website, there's absolutely nothing, zero, about the visibility challenge. Could I put something on there? Absolutely. But I don't need to, because in terms of how I'm generating interest, etc., it's on the social platform. And so that's, hopefully you can see now where you can use that. Now, if you're going to be using another social platform like, for instance, LinkedIn or Twitter, etc., I'm sure they have similar things like that. But either way, you've got to have those two elements of where can I put valuable content that's easily consumed, and how can I have some sort of lead capture. If you have those two elements, you do not need a website to start off with. Because then what I'd like to have you do is, the whole point is hey, start off there, as opposed to investing, like I said, you're going to have to invest a good amount of money. What's a good amount? $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Wouldn't spend more than that. But that's going to give you, if you find the right person, a decent website that's customized and really well. But is that a lot of money? Not necessarily. But if you're starting off and you invested in the coaching school and you're doing a lot of different things, there are other costs involved. That's a big hit up front, especially when you're earning zero starting off with. So I suggest that you can get started, start building an audience, get some clients. You're going to get some clients out of that. Now you're getting paid. Now when the time comes, it's even better, because now you're going to understand your message more and your branding more, and what you want to put into the website and what you like or don't like, as opposed to spending money right out of the gates and then realizing 6 months later that, well, I've got to redo this because my name changed or my brand changed or these whatever. You're going to have much more settled into where you're at.